Hello, hello. Hey there, everybody. I am sorry I'm a little bit late. Hello, Basquiat official. Coyote Lou. Let's see if I can get this together. Someone's asking me to get on, but that's not the right person. I want the right person to ask me to get on. Let's see who's on here. My name is Lisane Basquiat. Thank you all for joining. Oh, I'm just waiting for AJ to come in. Let's see if we can find him. Let's see if he's on here, and let us see. Basquiat official is on. West Afro girl, how are you? Hey, A Grant. Susie McSusie. Let's see. There you are, AJ. Let's see if I can go live. Let's see if this works. I hope it does. So I clicked something. Let's see if he's make his way on. Here we are.
Is it on?
We're on. How are you?
Hey.
It's so
Okay, good.
your face, sir.
Hey, as well. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I saw these other names pop on, and they're all like, so-and-so is asking to join. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know your handle, but I almost let somebody on by accident.
Oh, no. I'm in the class.
How's it going, AJ?
It's good. I'm in LA. I know you're on the East Coast. We're experiencing like super heat right now, but pushing through it. It's a good day. Big smiles. Literally, all energy is up. What's up? Oh, I love it. I see my friends are in here too.
They're all joining. I love it. So, my name is Lisane Basquiat. I am the co-administrator of the Jean-Michel Basquiat estate, along with my sister, the beautiful Janine, who cannot join us today. And joining me today is AJ Girard, the amazing, beautiful AJ Girard. Jemena, I see you. I'm happy to see you here. And so we're on, I guess, for just a few minutes, because AJ is a curator and an amazing soul who is going to join Janine and myself. I have notes here they're giving me. Janine's going to be joining us and four amazing artists or creatives that you've identified. And you're going to be on a panel with us called On the Rise, Navigating the Art World Today. That is happening next week. So
Yeah. And thank you so much for both you and your sister and the entire team for the space to do so. I just feel like I can't stop smiling because you already know how much I enjoy your legacy and the family's legacy and your brother's legacy, and to be able to connect it to my friends and my colleagues and peers. And also I've already had a lot of like messages and DMs sent from like emerging artists and students in the world who are going to be present, and I think it's going to be a good time.
It'd be amazing. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this because, AJ, I met you and you felt like family. And so the fact that we're able to sit down on the stage with Janine and with these other incredible human beings to share and just to kind of get down and chat and talk about, the journey for the creative and that kind of thing is really special to me.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to it. I actually happen to be right here on the West Coast.
Okay.
It's hot.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I bounce around a lot, but I actually am here on the West Coast. It's very hot.
And I'm kind of confused because I'm ready to fall into fall. Like that's when I feel like I'm the most me. So I've been ready, like pumpkin spice me and like all the things, and this is misleading. So
Are you a
yeah,
are you a pumpkin spice latte
I
kind of guy?
am almost every day. Actually, they know my name and they know the order. Like it's kind of there for me. So, but I mean, again, like I feel like born in November. I think that the whole like where we're leading into the next 3 months. I'm really excited about. This year has been good for me, and I think even within my peer group, like it's been so much inspiration and encouragement just floating in the air. I feel like this night will also be a really good culmination of like I know there are some names on that panel that are even like kind of newish to you that you guys will be meeting for the first time. So I think that the trust bond is so there, and I can't even wait to talk to you more about why today. Like, why are these guests being sat down?
I know.
I'm excited.
I actually looked them up, and
Okay.
it took a moment to kind of check out who we're going to be hanging out with, and I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah.
Amazing folks. So I guess maybe let's talk a little bit about what it is that we're doing, and maybe you can share, and hi everybody. Like there are lots of names coming across here, and they're like
Really.
so quickly that I can't even actually catch them. But we're excited that you're all here. Thank you so much. Share with your friends. This is a rare opportunity to have a conversation or to partake, I guess, in a conversation between the amazing AJ Girard, the incredible curator. So
Anybody who knows me knows how important this is for my just where I'm at. So I am as well smiling from ear to ear because yeah, this is full circle. This is a full circle moment for me. My nerves kick in, and I'm not a nervous person.
we're just hanging.
Yeah.
It's all good. Let's talk a little bit. Let's share a little bit about like what we're doing here and why we're on. And we are hosting a panel discussion with AJ next Thursday,
The 11th. Yeah.
October the 11th, at in downtown LA at the Jean-Michel Basquiat King's Place Los Angeles location in downtown LA. We are super excited about it. And AJ and I wanted to hop on to talk a bit about it. So AJ, why don't you, and we're not going to have the whole panel discussion right now, right?
No, yeah, because even one of the artists hit me to like, am I late? Was it to talk today? I'm like, no, no, no.
Not today. It's all good. Let's
Yeah.
talk about what we're doing, right? Like what this is about. And maybe if you could share a little bit about how you kind of process the assignment or the ask, and maybe some of the process that because you're the one curating this panel and the folks that are going to be on it. And so we don't want to let too much out of the bag, but maybe talk a little bit about who the artists are and your process from your perspective.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, as a curator in LA and as a young person of color navigating this space, community has been a cornerstone for me. And that's a term that I probably say like every hour or so, to be honest. It's a word that really means to me working with other people and pulling out their talents. And a lot of what I do is listening. Mm-hmm. So I find myself in studio visits, I find myself at events, I find myself in moments just kind of constantly thinking like, what I'm being introduced to is brilliant. I'm always taking in art. And, I had a professor earlier in my career say to me, like, whatever seat you're sitting in, you're joining art history, wherever you're starting. If your first time painting, your first time sculpting, it's your first time going to a museum, you're joining in on the history. And a lot of times that history can be very overwhelming when you don't find yourself seen in it. That was my personal experience at the beginning of it, until I met your brother via the journey of art history. I was kind of looking for myself. And I think over the last 4 or 5, I mean, honestly, I'm new to this side of it. Over the last 4 or 5 years, I've pushed myself into different spaces and conversations, taking that community that I just spoke about with me through the entire journey. There will never be a moment in art where you don't see me with like at least 10 people that I walked in the room with, and that became my reputation in LA, and it's pushed through. And when I met you and your sister deeper, you guys gave me the space to bring in peers. And I thought deeply about, I'm in this space where it's like, if I had to look at my life 30 years from now, 40 years from now, 10 years from now. Who are the people that are making the noise, and who are the people that are creating the pictures? And, you know, this panel will never do all of that work, but it was a quick insight for me to be able to share. Lacey has a voice that needs to be heard. Merjani has a voice that needs to be heard. Alfonso is a power force. And I was very specific to make sure that, like, and I don't want to go too down the road, but I'm very passionate to share this with you. I wanted it to be a fuller expression of, like, women and Black women, and really break down, like, as a young Black male who I always go looking for the Basquiat in any museum, in any setting. I'm like, that's where I'm at. I found that my peers are also very much like pushing what I understood about that conversation forward every day. And I really wanted to open up the canon on what he has done for the world of art and what that means to be in community with artists, and, like, know that they got something about them that, like, 20, 30 years down the line, we can sit and unpack for hours as well. You know, when I was at the height of, like, any museum that I worked that had a Broad, it was, that had a Basquiat in it at the Broad, my mind went to, people would always ask me, like, what does that mean? What do you think he meant by that? And those drawings and those lines. And I'd be like, it's less interesting to actually try to catapult what he meant, more so to talk about what kind of state of mind he was in to produce something like that. What was he listening to? What was the world around him? And then it gives you more insight to go into your world and to find those clues in your world. So again, I probably ramble, but this is,
I
yeah.
love that. I think what's amazing about that, and again, we're not going to do the whole conversation now, but I think that's a very interesting point, because Janine and I get asked that all the time, and people actually get mad. They're like, what was Jean-Michel thinking when he did this? And we're like, I think, you know, take a look at it and share what it means for you. Like, how does it mean for you?
Right.
So we can talk about that. I just want to shout out Eileen Gallagher joined. Eileen is the producer of the Jean-Michel Basquiat King Pleasure exhibition that started in New York. We're now in LA. Legendary Damon.
In the house. I saw that too.
A friend of ours. I know we can't wait either, Eileen, for October 11th. So excited for it. And so, yeah, so I think that's something that's come to us quite a bit as well. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because it's, you know, really about, especially if we're talking about art and hey girly action, Carter probably, or Margot, especially if you're talking about interpretation and perspective. You know, I think one of the things is that Jean-Michel really left that for people to process for themselves. Thank you, Bernadette. This is one of the best exhibitions that you've ever seen.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, tickets are sold out for October 11th. The link is in the bio. Make sure you get yourself there. But AJ, in the meantime, so you mentioned the artists by first name. Would you mind sharing who the 4 artists are, and also share a bit about, you know, I know you wanted to make sure that you had a good representation of artists, but maybe just a little bit about your process of curating this particular event.
Yeah, so we'll be joined by Merjani Meriwether, who is a sculptor, Dion Ivory, who I sort of pegged as a photographer, Alfonso Gonzalez Jr. as a painter, and Lacey Jordan as a multidisciplinary artist, who I find super empowering because she takes up space in a way. They're all really strong about the ways in which they show up in the art world, and they helped me understand, growing up in LA especially, how to find a better relationship to the environment that I'm in. You know, like, I know that Jean-Michel took over New York City at a time and really made a presence known for himself at that time. And I took that framework and I thought about, what does LA look like today? And how do you show up in a world full of internet and social media and self-promotion, and how do you show up authentically? And how, in my experience over the last couple of years, have I met artists that have also let me help other people find themselves in the gallery? And I think about, like, Merjani. We worked together on the Jeffrey Deitch project, and her sculptures were the first things that, and we're talking like at a pre-pandemic, first time climbing out of the house, friends are coming outside again. They walk into a gallery with no expectation, not really sure what the conversation is, and they see sculptures that look exactly like them.
Beautiful.
And it was so empowering. Yeah, and like Merjani basically created a sculpture, two memories I'd love to share. One was a young woman with the same hairstyle walked into the gallery, and I'm giving a tour, and without missing a beat, she's like, that looks like me. I like, that is you. And these are representational moments that we crave, that we talk about, that your family has like put a precedent down. And to have these artists like pick it up and do something different with them is exciting to me. Again, Alfonso works on, his family came from like a background, it's non-traditional, it wasn't school, it wasn't like Yale, and we love artists that come from like traditional schooling backgrounds like that, but to me, he breaks the canon because he really comes from like LA, the way LA is today, and he is a part of a community of artists that are succeeding. You know, when you know about like La Loc Studio and Boyle Heights and all these different places, Alfonso to me sits at the center of that, and he creates things that talk about how our landscapes change, how the buildings that we live in one day will not be there, or the sign will change, or the typography. He's a sign painter and comes from generations of that. And I just want to say he taught me something that I feel like I'm giving you all reasons to come back for more. He taught me something that was really exciting. In LA, I don't know if anybody knows this, like billboards can only be positioned in certain places in the city, just based off of like advertisement laws and things like that. And because he came from a traditional sign painting background, he taught me that when they paint, you know, sometimes you'll be like, why is the advertisement painted on a wall versus like a big silk screen? That's the loophole. So then I go, wow, that's so exciting to think about. And when you think about the talent that sometimes goes behind some of those paintings, I'm like, these are artisans that we never learn their name. These are people that will never know what they do, but they decorate our memory. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, take a left by that sign. And so I just think about that relationship to Jean-Michel's legacy, again, how he took over, he made space, he made you notice. These are artists that I think do that. Again, Dion Ivory, fun fact, was my first friend that went with me to the show. Both New York and LA, we traveled to the show to see it together. So I was like, I want to make this a very personal return to this experience, and I want to come back in with somebody who was there for me when I first saw those works in one space. And as a huge Basquiat fan, I get very emotional thinking about how many times I went into museums and there'd be like one painting, and I'd be so happy to meet that one representation that day. So when I came into this exhibit and there were like 30 on the wall,
Almost.
and you know, like it blew my mind. So I can't wait to unpack that experience with Dion. And then again, lastly with Lacey, if you are in LA and you just think about, she does graphic design, she uses color, she takes up space, and she makes it where you don't even have to, know. It's important to know art history, but you don't always need to know those things in order to experience them. And I find that Lacey, to me, is an artist that I can always come to and feel refreshed about what it is I'm doing. Sometimes it can get so hard in this job and trying to make space for other people, and it gets so conceptual, and people judge your outer picture. And Lacey is an artist that reminds me, like, in the spirit of like a Sam Gillam, or like a just like Soul of the Nation artist, that like Black is, and there's 1,000 ways to be, and we don't have to show up one way. And thank you for letting me. I love these artists to death. So I think anybody who comes into this space, like, I'm gonna bring it for you. I really can't wait to share.
What kind of topics are you thinking about, just to kind of let people know what to expect at this that's happening on October 11th?
Yeah.
Basquiat King Pleasure, Los Angeles space downtown LA at the Grand Caddy Corner, right across the street from the Disney Conference Hall.
Yeah.
So, looking to, like, as you're preparing for this discussion, what are you thinking about?
I want to make a safe space for artists and creatives. I want people to feel comfortable starting exactly where they are. Trust me, I was someone who started in seats that I never would have thought I could arrive to finally have a conversation, to be asked my I statements about art, and to bring in my friends and bring in my community, and now to be sitting with you. It can happen, and I want to make that space very welcoming for anyone who feels like, how do I start? Just show up. A lot of times I found I'm already taking a huge advantage by showing up for myself and putting myself in alignment to where I want to go in life. So I would say that this conversation, you don't even need to know who my peers are just yet. That's why it's great.
Right.
We'll introduce ourselves to you and we'll tell you our journeys and how we arrived. And I find that like when we're in a room together and we're unpacking these questions together, we are the most powerful ever. And I can't wait for the magic that comes out of that room, because I know someone in there will get what they need for the journey,
Yeah.
even if that's me.
All of us, right? That's
So,
really the reason for doing this was really, Jean-Michel was um, so much about community and friendship and supporting and really helping to understanding what can happen when creative energy comes together. And he, as a result of that, has shared incredible things, as we all know, with the world. And that really was a lot of, or is a lot of what we want to talk about next week. Is, for all of the creatives who are out there doing the thing, it's a chance to contribute to a space that gives community,
yeah.
where hopefully there'll be an opportunity to also share some of the journey, like what this journey is about, what it's, why the journey, and then also how, and some of the challenges and obstacles, so that people can learn, so we can learn from each other. That's really the bottom line purpose of this, is in the spirit of Jean-Michel and in the spirit of his generosity, providing that space for creatives and people who are in the family of creatives, because it's not, even though the road can be lonely sometimes, it really isn't a journey that people go on by themselves. They bring their family, their peeps, their friends, right along with them. So that's really why we wanted to do this. And we knew that you were the person to reach out to ask us to kind of pull this thing together. And we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Really, really looking forward to it.
I'm very humble. I'm very honored, and I am smiling from ear to ear because this is my all-time favorite artist. And to take something out of my head into the reality is an experience. So I really can't wait to be in the room with you and your family and be a part of something. So
Yeah, we're
yeah,
looking forward to it too. I'm gonna really quick, because if you all want to hear the story, if you want to learn and network and connect and meet people in community and create community, come to I don't know why I can't, the name, On the Rise, Navigating the Art World Today. AJ Girard is going to be leading this panel discussion. Someone's asking what's going to be happening. I'm telling you. It's a session that, no, you cannot join live. No, no, no. You can come to the event. This is happening on October the 11th, downtown LA at the Jean-Michel Basquiat King Pleasure LA exhibition. We are going to have a conversation that will include Lacey Jordan, Alfonso Gonzalez Jr., or Johnny Merriweather, and Dion. Is that how?
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Dion Ivory, who are all and each incredible artists, and we're going to host a rare opportunity to hear from these artists, to learn from these artists, to share, and to just be in a room of incredible conversation and energy. And we're really excited to do that. It's going to happen right in the the space, sitting in this beautiful room, the Palladium room.
Yes.
There are several galleries as part of this exhibition. So we're going to be sitting in the room with these magnificent works. Um, so if you have an interest in participating, get your tickets. They're selling quickly. AJ, again, is going to be leading the conversation. Diane and I will be on there. And then I'm supposed to be talking about, the tickets include full access to the King Pleasure exhibition, talk, Palladium, cocktails for guests 21 and over, from I Best Wines and Biscuit and Zubosh Cognac. Limited spots. Buy your tickets. And then I want to also share that on the 20th, a week later, where Jenny and I are hosting and moderating a discussion that we're calling Young Kings. That which is going to be a really wonderful conversation and discussion, and that's happening the following week. And tickets to that include full access to the exhibition, another panel discussion, an after party with a special DJ set by DJ Toxic, who is a friend of Jean-Michel. And I guess that is it. That's the thing. So
Come, it's gonna be great. I'm excited. Thank you for today. Thank you for taking the time. Um, my nerves are high, but it's because I know this is going to be a really amazing opportunity, and I can't wait to do this together. So, thank
yeah,
you all
yeah.
for listening too.
The nerves, you know how you've been in that space many times. So
Yeah,
you know that you'll walk into that room and the energy, and it'll be just amazing. It'll be a really good conversation.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time with me.
Welcome, you're welcome.
I'll see you very
You
soon.
will
Like very, very
see
soon.
this in June.
Yeah.
This is this time next week. Together for this. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Tell your friends, let people know, and thank you so much, AJ. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All
Have a great one.
right,
Bye,
bye.
guys.